what's the lyric? How it goes? How do I move in a room full of vultures?
Mm-hmm. Like show him how to move in a room full of vultures.
So he's the person who's been able to show this to us. So unfortunately, he has now been brought up in the Diddy case. Now, from what I've gathered, he's not being sued by them at this time. This is just opening him up to potentially being sued.
Yeah, and it's a civil suit.
What happened was this is an amendment to the Diddy case, one of the allegations, where they had noted that there were 2 other celebrities in the room, and now they have chosen to name one of those celebrities as Sean Carter, JayZ. This looks crazy. Like when you read it on face value, if you take it on face value and you read that story, that is one of the craziest things that you could ever happen to you. I don't care about it being early 2000s, 13-year-olds was on the street all the time, whoop de whoop. Nah, bro. What happened here? Don't even like again, if we're just taking it on face value, that is one of the most insane things that you could ever experience in that kind of way.
You mean what the young woman experienced?
Yeah, what she claimed that she experienced.
Yeah. So allegedly, the suit says that she was going to like a VMA party. Her parents didn't know where she was. Well, she was trying to get into the VMA. She couldn't get there. She was talking to this guy who happened to be Diddy's driver. He was like, "Oh, I can get you into this party. You're exactly like what Diddy likes and what he looks for." She ends up going to the party. There's a lot going on. There's drug use rampantly that she sees. I don't know how she gets into the room, but she's drugged.
She said she got tired.
Yeah, and then she's drugged and she's in a bedroom with Diddy and allegedly JayZ and a third celebrity who's a woman who they list as celebrity B.
Yeah, I thought it was the other way around, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and they basically take turns doing terrible things to her.
And then she claims then that she fights off her assailants, runs out of the room
naked, like
nobody says anything to her or bothers her or anything. She puts her clothes on outside and then runs to a convenience store, gas station,
and calls her father.
And the woman at the registry gives her a phone to call her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially that's all I was able to gather.
Yeah.
So first off, I want to make sure.
She also said that as a result of this assault that like she's mentally not been okay. Mm-hmm. She hasn't been able to maintain relationships, jobs. Her life is basically a mess. She's a shut-in. She doesn't like leaving her home, and she has basically gotten PTSD from this. So that's why now she's suing, because her entire life has been basically taken away by this assault, allegedly.
And both Sean P. Diddy Combs and Sean Carter have both denied any involvement in this and have stated these are false claims. I do want to kind of go into and just say, first and foremost, I want justice to be served. I have spoken about Diddy and JayZ in ways that I feel like if they are bad men, they need to be handled.
Yeah, 100%.
They need to be thrown away. We need to shame them in our culture and push up better examples of people of who we want to see that represent us. I will have to say, though, after reading this and going over this and watching different videos, I watch Court TV and stuff, it's just a stretch, man.
So it's the biggest thing that I've seen that makes me question it a little bit is the law firm that's filing that added him to the suit and the lawyer who's doing it too,
Tony
because
Busby.
There's been some back and forth between him and JayZ, and then he has like an extortion background.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a moment, but I just want to talk about this story because, again, I don't want to feel like I'm shaming a witness. I'm just being honest and just how I'm listening to this and what it sounds like. So I can understand being a young kid trying to get into the VMAs, but one of the notes that they said was this was on her bucket list. Come on. Who
to go to the VMAs?
Yeah. 13 bucket list? You're thinking about bucket list stuff at 13? Like, come on.
Maybe it was like on her list of things to do.
If it's just a turn of phrase or something, that's cool. But to say that a 13-year-old had a bucket list, come on.
But I don't think that like it was a bucket list in like the very
I'm saying what the words
specific
that were used.
Term of the thing is like things you want to do before
I watched multiple videos
are about to die,
and that phrase was used multiple times. So that's why I'm calling that out.
Okay, and what else?
So then you go by yourself.
Yeah,
that doesn't, to me. You're going to the VMAs. Why you're not going to have one other friend who's going to want to go with you?
That was also.
And then you said a friend just drops you off, so you don't. Like I said, I know that person doesn't need to be named, but there's so many people who are just NPC characters in this story that it just, his driver told me to come back around this time. And it's like, well, what did you do that entire time? Like, I want to know now what was going on. You waited throughout the whole VMAs outside. Like,
where did your parents think
he didn't
you were?
have to go somewhere and then come back to, like, that doesn't, to me, logistically, that just sounds weird. Like, he came back to where you was at and brought, you know what I'm saying? That just sounds weird. And then you go to this place, nobody, like, you don't say anybody who you saw. Like, nothing that you can give us to be like, this person was here, that person was. She said celebrities were there.
She probably did, but they're like redacted. Yeah,
I didn't see a redacted for anybody saying that they were redacted for the
other
people
than
that
Celebrity
saw.
B.
Mm-hmm. Besides the ones that she said that did the assault. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm just saying, like, to me, it just sounds so. It's not clear of a story. And I'm not saying that you had to be the perfect victim for me. Please don't take that from me. I'm just deciphering this from the information that's being presented. Mm-hmm. I do want a good faith interrogations to be done, a good faith investigation to be done. I'm not trying to say this person is lying. I'm just saying this story just sounds. Then, how long from the time that you got away from them, walked around, went outside or stuff, that they at no point think that maybe we just raped this girl, maybe we should stop her from leaving? That never came about. Nobody sent anybody to look for you while you were at this gas station. Like, that just.
But like, at these parties, if this was happening regularly, allegedly, like, how do they silence everybody who they do this to?
But for this to be the way that they described this, it wasn't like.
And then I do believe that she did sign something that she then eventually realized was an NDA.
She believed to be an NDA.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, she could never.
So I feel like they probably thought that they covered their bases and they weren't gonna like go chase after her after they did that.
Mm-hmm. To me, that
because also it also is indicative of like, if that did happen, then they were flagrant and confident enough to know that like
that's
wasn't shit gonna happen.
That's the implication, because from what I'm seeing, that would be the only implication, because an NDA doesn't protect you from a crime.
No.
So if she just felt like you violated her,
if she went straight to the police station, then like, that would have been a completely different.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense they would let her go. Her being erratic, her saying like she's being very clear, at least for us in her story, that she didn't want this to happen. Mm-hmm. And she's not making claims of other people being around to try to coerce her and anything. You were just drugged up and they took advantage of you. You got away, and they just let you. Like, that just, to me, that doesn't add up.
Yeah, and then. Also, it's so weird because we want to believe the victim,
100%.
And we don't want to victim blame at all, but we're also trying to break it down. What I also think about is like how much drugs were in her system and what type of drugs were in her system and how she was able to like get away coherently and remember her dad's phone number to call, like how.
Yeah, because it wasn't cell phone days.
Yeah.
You had to call, you had to remember your number. Like I say, you're right. There's a lot of stuff like that where it's not adding up. And then people can even go into the thing, what father would, react like that, seeing their daughter out and about at this time and not go to the police. I mean,
immediately go to the hospital or the police or something like that.
That's one thing I can understand, though. Because if just think about this. In my brain, if I take her to the hospital, then they say something happened to her, they got to call the police. Police gonna ask me what I did. I'm the police. I'm the person who got to know. What I'm saying, I didn't know where she was at. That's negligence. I think it's very.
Yeah, but with a 13-year-old, like, it happens sometimes too. Like, they just sneak out.
We also got to take into consideration, like, people don't have a really clear understanding of the law, or a lot of people have fear that it's going to be retribution on them too, especially when you're the guardian. So I can see in a certain situation where it's like, bro, I fucked up big.
As long as
if I let the police know, this can be bigger on me.
Yeah, because as long as my kid is already protected, they're back in my hands. Then yeah.
So I mean, I could just understand where he's like, "Oh no, I don't want to make this worse."
Ooh.
So no,
I feel like as a parent, I would probably take my daughter straight to the hospital.
Oh, for sure. Like that's the thing you would want to do. I'm just telling you, I can understand the mind of somebody, because I think that is probably the most BS excuse that I saw, like the father thing. Okay, so there's some more things that we got to talk about with this though too, because Jaguar Wright showed her ass shortly after.
Oh my God, I mean,
she did, yo. And I don't want to be funny because she was giving a very emotional testimony in regards. I don't want to say testimony either. That sounds crazy, but she was giving an emotional statement on, I think it was Storm Moreau's podcast where she's with them, and she claimed, I saw this on Star, so where she claimed that JayZ had a gun to her and assaulted her. Like she basically made that on there. It was crazy. But I know, like
allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, she said it. I'm saying what she said. I don't have to.
Like,
That's not alleged. Like she said that. She said that. That's what I'm reporting. Okay, Hove. I'm reporting that she said that, my nigga. So don't fucking come over here with that shit, my nigga. But no, she said that, and I understand. And if she was a victim of anything, tell your story. But I know she felt so vindicated. Even if she's lying, like for this to be happening right now, she got to be clapping. Like she know the money got to start flowing in.
She's been saying that something's going to happen to JayZ too now that Diddy is in jail. So I guess.
Wasn't there like a fortune teller that said something was going to happen?
Sloan Bella.
Yeah, she said that something was going to happen to JayZ.
Yes,
like
the
early
white
November,
woman.
Right? And it happened in December instead, but she was a little off. They did add a 13th zodiac sign, so maybe she just couldn't, get the math right on that.
Her being right was not in my bingo card at all.
I mean,
maybe being
or
right.
This could be, let's get into it, the beef between JayZ and Tony Busby, because that's who in JayZ's response and his denial to these allegations, he came out with a long Rock Nation statement.
Okay, because this statement I think the statement was hilarious. Did you not?
Yeah, I also thought it was very felt like kind of like apologist type stuff to be like, oh, let me see my accuser and all that kind. A lot of that stuff felt like power dynamics, because if this person is making these claims and then you're trying to like exert your power over them, that makes shit looks a little bit nasty too.
Yeah, because the person filed the suit as anonymous, so they don't know who it is.
Jane Doe.
Yeah, she's a Jane Doe. So he was basically like, "Show me who you are."
And then the whole take it to court, take it to criminal trial.
Yeah,
like, to me that's a lot of gaslighty stuff, because this is 13 years ago. There's nobody gonna be able to really prove that. Then you got all these people coming out now. Oh, I was with JayZ that night. He didn't go to no after party, and I was with Diddy. At first, my first thought of this was that this was like them trying to basically pump up a fake story so that when the real stuff comes, then it's gonna be like problems. Like they were like, oh, well, look at all this. These people are lying. It's going to be able to just, deny all that when the real allegations start showing up. But then when you get into like this beef with him and JayZ, this sounds kind of, legit. The Breakfast Club, again, this could be JayZ promoting, this information. But they're saying that like Tony said that JayZ sent people to go after their families and to like, do surveillance on them.
And then there was a previous lawsuit also that JayZ filed against Tony Busby for
was it defamation?
Yeah.
So no, they were saying that they were putting that, and they said that's why JayZ's name got put up, because Tony told his client that they were sending people to talk to her family and stuff like that, and she got upset, and so she was like, yeah, release his name too now. So now that that's why they released it, and then JayZ came out. People then said that he's making claims that Tony was making false statements, making people make false statements and withholding people's settlement money and shit. Like, it's been getting crazy. Like, all these stories that's been coming out from it.
I didn't hear anything
these
about
are
that.
allegations, but these are what the allegations are. That they're saying that they're going at each other, sending lawyers at both of them are sending waves at people at each other. And Tony's been like really vocal. I don't know if he's trying to be like the next Young Thug lawyer. Like, he's trying to act like I'm like a promo, like professional lawyer. You know how people try to do that. Get a
it's
name
more
for
like
themselves.
What's that lawyer that all of the women went to when
Lisa
they were
Bloom?
Yes, he's trying to be the next Lisa Bloom.
Shout out to her, she's a legend.
She is.
But no, I can see that with him. Like, I think that he's just trying to get into that realm as like celebrity attorney. I see that's just kind of being a bigger thing. I remember Lil Durk attorney was doing that white girl. Then you see Young Thug's lawyer, who's been doing it too, trying to like
see, he did a
whole
photo
commercial.
shoot for a clothing line.
I think that's where they see like the money is in getting into the entertainment, because being a lawyer ain't going to probably
you got to do a lot of work and memorize a lot of things being a lawyer.
It's not as easy money as being an entertainment lawyer.
Yeah.
When I say entertainment, I'm not saying entertaining a lawyer that works in entertainment. I'm saying being a lawyer that entertains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a TikTok lawyer.
Yeah, it's easier to be that, and it's probably more lucrative to be that than what they are now. I just think that this is where we get into this nasty, once you monetize everything world, where it gives kind of some credence to, JayZ's claims about this dude. So that's why I'm just saying, where we kind of got to watch out. We also don't know misinformation that he's going to be putting out. He's going to have black media.
Yeah.
Van Lathan just talked about that.
And then it's just, why wasn't JayZ put in the civil suit in the first place? Like, why was he added?
Well, she was focusing on Diddy because she felt like that's where The energy was going, and then when that person found out, again, this is all the allegations. When that person found out,